XRP has made history. All right, we're going to talk about what that means in this video. If you hold XRP, you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video where I give you my thoughts as we break down kind of all the news surrounding XRP on the day. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark. For those of you that are not subscribed, make sure you all hit that subscribe button and be sure to like this video. If you hold XRP, every one of you guys should hit that thumbs up. It's completely free to do so. All it does is tell you in YouTube that you want to see more XRP stuff and keep you informed with what's going on when we do talk XRP here on the channel. All right, but here's exactly what's happening. XRP has made history, okay? As we relate to what we were talking about with Ethereum, XRP has taken that next step. I want to show exactly what that means in this video. Before we get into it, a couple things of business. Please remember, this is not financial advice. Always be sure to do your own research and due diligence. We are going to dive into the overall markets as we look at XRP, still fourth in market cap, trading at $2.68 or 068. I'm sure a lot of you would love to see that 268 price tag. But I'm going to kind of explain why it doesn't matter as well. These are just my thoughts, but it's something where I've been an XRP holder for quite some time. And if you believe in kind of where XRP is headed, if XRP's price right now is $1.50, $3.50, $10.50, it does not matter for the long haul. I want to tell you exactly why, because I believe in what XRP can bring for crypto for the duration of my time that I will be spending in digital assets, because they are changing the way the system is done. And that's kind of the big storyline. The big news on the day, though, and this is kind of what we're going to talk about, is how they've achieved a historic feat against Ethereum, okay? Before we get into it, though, I am going to share with you guys kind of some stuff on X. If you don't follow me on X, make sure you do so. At TCryptoMark is my handle. There is a link down below in the description. Also, if you want to start trading on BTCC, check out my link as well. Spot and futures leverage trading for all clients available, even in the United States, 14 plus years running. I think there is some stipulations if you're in the UK, so make sure it's right for you and where you're located. Sign up today using my link. There are a lot of cool promotions and competitions they run on that platform. So check out BTCC if you want to start trading with me. But as we look at it, guys, this is the big storyline, right? You could see kind of the big news of the day. This is another XRP-focused account, Jack the Rippler, as President Trump wants to fire Jerome Powell as the head of the Federal Reserve, okay? Saying that the new financial system will run on XRP. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Still think that's a little bit kind of out of the realm of possibility. But the big story that I want to talk about kind of is as we look at XRP fully, you have to kind of look at the last 6 months and this historic feat against Ethereum. This is where we're going to see XRP on track 6 consecutive months of positive returns against Ethereum for the first time in its inception. Now, this is where in November we saw a 160% gain against Ethereum that kind of lasted throughout 2025. And then during March, this is where we saw XRP ETH pairing up nearly 20%, and that is where we have added 14% in the month of April as well. So this has been a very strong turnaround, right? We go back to the doomsday when we were all in the trenches, wondering when XRP would get out from under the rock, when XRP and the SEC, that trial would end, when we would see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, it's here, and I think a lot of traders out there want to see the price impact. Well, you're not going to get it, and I'm going to tell you why, and it does actually make sense. But this is kind of where we look into XRP versus Ethereum, okay? There's a lot of positive developments. We can talk XRP ETFs. We could talk about kind of the whole mindset that XRP will one day take over some of the function of the SWIFT banking system. This is something where you kind of have to even look at the infrastructure of the United States Federal Reserve. If XRP will be at the center and the forefront of what they look to do within the United States, there's a lot of opportunity within XRP. I have it in its own category in relation to all of the other cryptos I do hold. I don't treat it like a meme coin. I don't treat it like an altcoin. I don't treat it like Bitcoin. XRP is XRP, okay? So that's the big storyline. 6 consecutive months of positive returns against Ethereum, okay? And also the big kind of turning point from this, guys, is why XRP's price is not going up. Well, my opinion on this all, and it's something that doesn't have any relevancy, I guess, but it is something that you kind of have to understand. Were you holding XRP at 40, 50, 60 cents? Okay. Were you holding XRP when everybody said it was dead, Ripple's done, Guarding House is a scam. I've heard it all, okay? I've heard every single bad word you could say towards XRP. I go to conferences, we hear people talk about it. In the crypto world, it does happen a lot more than you would actually believe. And there's a lot of people watching this video that may just solely hold XRP. Not like a Bitcoin maxi. There's really no XRP maxis. I just think it's a different crypto. It just comes in the form of crypto, but people believe in Ripple, so you hold XRP, okay? But as we dive deeper into this, why is the XRP price not going up? Well, I'll never tell you to buy or sell a crypto. I can't give financial advice, but I will tell you in my mindset, if XRP would go to $5 tomorrow, we would have the biggest pump across the board in the entire crypto market. If XRP was $5, would you sell? That's a question you have to ask yourself, okay? Never tell anybody not to take profits. I mean, if you can make your money in crypto, fantastic. That's the goal. That's what everybody wants to do, is use crypto as a vehicle to get rich. But the unfortunate circumstance of that is the dynamic between getting rich, seeing price movement, and then kind of staying and becoming kind of a stable organic growth, okay? If XRP would rise to $5 and everybody would just dump and sell XRP, and this wouldn't just be me and you and every other retail trader across the board. This would be institutions. This would be Ripple executives. This would be any Ripple person, anybody for that matter. They would sell XRP faster than you can say, click the button, okay? And that's just my personal thoughts. So seeing that very sharp uptick, right? That explosion, that green candle, that price surge that we all kind of crave and want, the one that we think that we're due and that it's deserving for every XRP holder to see. That's great, but we've seen kind of something similar, all right? We did see that incredible pump, and people take profits, they sell out. It's just something that's natural. And that's kind of why I don't really care that XRP is not at $5, because I wouldn't be selling. That's just me personally. And I wouldn't fault you for selling, to be honest. But that's kind of where we're at. I think that the markets are so reactionary that when we talk kind of mainstream crypto trading, if XRP would just explode, people would dump it. And that's not saying they wouldn't buy back into it, but it would suck a lot of that liquidity out of the game and really put us back at square one. And that's kind of why I want to see announcements, news, headlines, stable growth, organic, solid growth that moves XRP to new highs. But I don't want it to come at the expense of us getting dumped on as holders and missing the boat to actually achieve wealth from XRP. And that's kind of how I feel about it. So leave a comment down below. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that XRP going up very, very significantly in a short period of time, would that be good or bad for the state of XRP? Me personally, I want to get to a spot where all that could happen and it won't really matter, because the transactional volumes and the magnitude of what XRP is doing with the use case and functionality across the globe is so monumental that we could sell millions of dollars of XRP and there's no price impact, okay, whatsoever. That's a pipe dream. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I don't have that crystal ball. I wish I did. If I did, I would tell you exactly what would happen. But all I can do is give you the news as best as I get it, give you my thoughts and expressions involving that news, and then you guys can make the best decisions for yourselves, okay? So I'll leave you with that. As always, guys, appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to start trading on BTCC, check out my link down below in the description. Get started today. And we'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.